Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Man. Before we get started, hit the like button, share this with your friends and family on social media, and drop a comment in the comment section. As always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today, I'm going to tell you why I'm upset. More intel from the Victor's weekend official visits, all that, and of course,
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
Having crystal balls to Michigan only the whole time to be planning to go to the other state is disrespect. I'm going to tell them why I'm mad. 4-star defensive lineman Maxwell Roy. You've heard me talk about Maxwell for a couple weeks, especially on this channel, and how Michigan would be getting an absolute monster because he had crystal balls to the Wolverines for the past couple of weeks. I watched the film. He is an absolute beast. He's completely unblockable in whatever league that is that he plays in Philadelphia. But apparently, the whole time my guy had eyes on that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. How about that? He's basically been an undercover agent for the ops. That's nasty work. Nasty work, if it's true, by the way. But all of a sudden, he comes out of his OVs with Michigan. He's raving about Michigan. The very next day, 4 crystal balls to the other state. It makes no sense. I'm upset about it. That said, we move on. Take a look at this. Poor Lil Bronem is all I can say. They are celebrating getting a, quote, 5-star long snapper. Moment of silence for a rivalry that was, because at this point, they're laughing stock. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. All right, let's get to the Victor's weekend and some intel from that. Obviously, EJ Holland of the Wolverine reported about Owusu Boateng, Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, out of IMG Academy. By the way, Michigan has done a good job at recruiting IMG Academy so far. You got Caden Strayhorn. There's Donovan Johnson. They're back in discussions with Graham, originally from Detroit, but now at IMG Academy, who is committed to Colorado currently, but we'll see how that pans out. Also, there's Owusu Boateng. So there's a lot of talent at IMG Academy. Obviously, they get talent every year over year, from a lot of high school guys that want to go play down there to better their profile, if nothing else. And Owusu Boateng is no different. So he actually is from Manassas, Virginia, played high school football at a regional power here in Maryland, DeMatha, before obviously making the switch to IMG. That said, Owusu Boateng came out of his visit to Michigan very, very impressed, especially with defensive coordinator Wink Martindale and linebackers coach Brian Jean-Marie. Jean-Marie obviously had a relationship with Boateng and his family, Owusu Boateng and his family, before he came to Michigan. When he was still at Tennessee, he was recruiting him heavily. Michigan did offer Boateng back when he was an underclassman at DeMatha. However, the communication had fell off when he went to IMG. But Jean-Marie has done a great job of getting Michigan right back in the thick of things. And Wink Martindale did an excellent job of giving Boateng a plan and basically a roadmap to where he wants to be. He also pointed out that Michigan's attention to detail is one of the reasons that they are the defending national champions. Steve Wiltfong actually said he believes Michigan is in the top 2, and they're giving Boateng a lot of things to think about. He actually thinks that Boateng had his best visit in terms of the OVs that he took in A2, and those OVs include the other state, Notre Dame, and USC. So I think Notre Dame and Michigan are those top 2, and it'll be a fight down the stretch to see who can land him. Boateng himself is 6'2", 210 pounds, ranked the 5th ranked linebacker in the 2025 class and the 74th ranked player overall in the class of 2025. Speaking of Graham, and for those who don't know, I'm speaking of Alex Graham, the cornerback out of IMG Academy. He is a 4-star. Also, like I said, originally from Detroit, and was a Michigan lean at one point before ultimately committing to Deion Sanders and Colorado. His mother is a Michigan alum, so Michigan has that in their back pocket as well. He is ranked as the 263rd player in all of the country, the 28th ranked cornerback, in the country. I will say that he is a potential flip candidate. I think that if Michigan really presses the gas here, that they could, get him back in the fold in terms of even getting a commitment out of him. They're obviously out here with Shamari Earls at the top of the list, I would think, at cornerback right now. But Alex Graham is an elite cornerback in his own right, 6 feet, 185 pounds. He has dealt with some injury issues the last couple of years, and that may be one of the reasons that Michigan cooled a bit. But he and Lamar Morgan, Michigan's defensive backs coach, really hit it off during his time in A2 for his official visit, and hopefully that's something that they can build on in the future. But Alex Graham, absolutely a rock star.
Real quick before we move on, I did want to just say hi to Maize Madmen. So I don't know if anybody's. Yeah, we got a celebrity in here. Anybody who's been watching the Michigan YouTube, this guy's got a great show. So we really appreciate you stopping by a lot. Yeah, so thank you for that.
He puts in work.
He really does. Game recognized game.
Really quick, shout out to the guys over at Michigan football, at the voice of college football. They didn't have to do this. I'm certainly not a celebrity, certainly don't think that I am, but I appreciate the shout out. So thank you to those guys. Be sure to check out their channel too, by the way. Subscribe if you haven't already. They do great work over there. By the way, my guy Moose and Dependent Fanatic, both of whom are friends of this channel, editors over there. So shout out to those guys. We all know the commits that came out of the weekend. Caden Strayhorn, interior offensive lineman / center, along with Donovan Johnson, the running back, and Jacob Washington, the wide receiver. The latter of those two, both 4-star recruits. Jacob Washington really fits a need for Michigan with a bigger body, along with elite speed, and Donovan Johnson, a bruising running back. He is coming off of an ACL injury, but as people have pointed out, if he's able to get back to his sophomore form, then he is exceptionally elite. In fact, was ranked in the top 3 of running backs in this class before that injury. So we'll see what happens there. Both of those guys came out of the visits obviously impressed. Donovan Johnson said, quote, "It's a perfect fit." Guy Caden Strayhorn, the offensive lineman, said, quote, "I want to build my own legacy." By the way, Caden Strayhorn is already doing his part in recruiting more dogs, as he puts it, in the 2025 class to Michigan. He has a great relationship with current Michigan wide receiver Samaj Morgan. There was a photo shared of both of those guys as kids at Michigan State, ironically, but both of those guys are good friends. He also has a good relationship with Alex Graham, the IMG cornerback who is originally from Detroit. So there's a lot of positive buzz coming out of the weekend as a whole, especially with the guys that committed and with some major targets for the Wolverines, including Boateng, Kamar Archie. Speaking of Kamar Archie, out of New Jersey, I think he's taking an official to Rutgers this week, but out of his visit with Michigan, he was very impressed. He had glowing things to say about the Wolverines and the fact that he could see himself as a Wolverine. Here's the skinny with him. Michigan probably would have landed him by now had they not cooled on him just a little bit, and I think that was for some other guys, but so he's got that in the back of his head too. But Kamar Archie would absolutely be a take for the Wolverines at this point, and I believe that's even if they land somebody like Owusu Boateng. But we'll keep you up to date on that as more information becomes available. Another guy, and I interviewed this guy's father right here on the channel, 4-star wide receiver Taz Williams out of Texas. He was also impressed with his official visit this weekend. He said, quote, "It was good to get to know the coaches outside of football. Obviously, we talk football all the time. It was also good to spend some time with the recruits and commits. I really like the culture and the environment up there. Everyone is like family." You saw, if anybody paid attention to the photos and videos of around the weekend, Taz Williams and Caden Strayhorn did a little TikTok dance video. So definitely making friends and building relationships while on campus. He also went on to say it was great to meet with Coach Sharon Moore, and that he's now that he's the head coach, we already had a great relationship. We talked a lot. We had some great conversations. I think he's going to do great. He showed a lot when he was the interim head coach. So Taz Williams coming out impressed. Also spoke a little bit about Ron Bellamy and how it was good to bond with him. So things are really looking up for Michigan recruiting. Obviously, there's been some buzz about Michigan and their ability or willingness now to get into the NIL mix a little bit. But outside of that, even just a very positive weekend for Michigan and around the recruiting. I may be doing a video later. I think I'm going to go live tonight, so be sure to check for that. If I do, I will put something, a post up in the community here. So be sure to check that out. Follow me everywhere as always at Maize Madman. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and drop a comment. Let me know who you think may commit next. What do you think about the Maxwell Roy situation? Let's talk about it in the comment section. As always, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'm gonna calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
and how the